Welcome to Innovate Teaching Channel.
Hindu philosophy. Hindu philosophy refers to philosophies, worldviews, and teachings that emerged in ancient India. These Hindu philosophy includes 6 systems. Shad Darshana. Shad means 6. See, these are 6 Hindu philosophies. The first one is Sankhya philosophy, second one is Yoga philosophy, third one is Nyaya philosophy, fourth one is Vaisheshika philosophy, fifth one is Mimamsa, sixth one is Vedanta. These are also the Eastern systems of philosophy. As our India is in the eastern part of the world, we call the Hindu philosophy as Eastern systems of philosophy. Let us see the first philosophy of Hindu philosophy or Eastern systems of philosophy. It is Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy has been propounded by the great seer Kapil. The sage Kapil proposed this Sankhya philosophy. Scholars have interpreted the word Sankhya into 2 ways. One is Sankhya, which means number, and the second one is Gyan, which means knowledge. The second meaning of Sankhya is the knowledge of divine. The divine knowledge pertains to the knowledge about body and soul, spirit and matter. Here is the metaphysics of Sankhya philosophy. You would get a question, what is metaphysics? Metaphysics is made of 2 words, meta and physics. Meta means beyond. Physics means existence. Thus, metaphysics searches for the truth which is beyond the natural existence. What is metaphysics? The study of nature of man, nature of universe, nature of truth, nature of existence is metaphysics. The metaphysics of Sankhya is basically dependent on the following. One is theory of causation, second is Prakriti and Gunas, third one is Purusha or self, fourth one is evolution of the world. Let us see the first case, theory of causation, which is also called Satkaryavada. Aristotle argued that as everything is in constant state of change, we need to know its cause, how it comes to be and how it goes from potentiality to actuality. See this video. Here you can see the seed and the plant. The seed is called potential and the complete growth of the plant is actuality. In order to answer the questions, what is the cause of object, how an object comes, how it goes from potentiality to actuality, Aristotle developed theory of causation. The theory of causation deals with 4 causes. First, material cause, second, formal cause, third, efficient cause, fourth, the final cause. Let me explain them further. Let us take an inanimate object, a wooden chair. The first cause is material cause. Material cause is the material the thing is made of. So for the wooden chair, the material used is wood. Now wood alone is not enough to make a chair. Then we have the second cause as formal cause. Formal cause is the actual form or shape the thing needs to be. So for the wooden chair, the formal cause would be 4 legs and the seat. To reach its purpose, there we need the third cause as efficient cause. Efficient cause is the external agent which cause the change in material into a desired form. So for the wooden chair, the efficient cause would be carpenter. And the final cause is the fourth cause of theory of causation. Final cause is when certain thing reached its actuality and fulfills the purpose. So for the wooden chair, if the people can sit comfortable, it has reached its final cause. Let us take another example as a man or a human. The first cause, material cause, is its DNA. The second cause is formal cause, is the body structure, shape, size and all the organs. The third cause, efficient cause, would be the parents. And the final cause is the fourth cause, which is a man with completely successful, happy living with all his emotions and feelings. Let us discuss the second metaphysics of Sankhya philosophy, which is Prakriti and Gunas. Prakriti is the ultimate cause of the world of objects. It discusses that everyone is able to experience pleasure, pain, and indifference. Let us see some of the examples of Prakriti. Take the cuckoos singing. It may be pleasurable to an artist. It is painful to patient. It is indifferent to rustic. Other example is a rose would be taken. A rose would be delightful for youth, dejects the dying man, and indifferent to gardener. Prakriti is constituted by three gunas. They are sattvic or sattva, rajasic or rajas, tamasic or tamas. Here you can see the sattva, raja and tama, which indicates the color of sattva is white, the color of rajas is red, the color of tamas is black. These are the three gunas of human, which indicates sattva, raja and tama. You can differentiate the human having these three gunas. The third metaphysics of Sankhya philosophy is Purusha or the self. Purusha and Prakriti are interrelated and are ultimate realities of the world. The self encompasses the self-concept, self-esteem, social self and self-knowledge. Be yourself and love yourself. Let us see the fourth metaphysics of Sankhya philosophy. It is evolution of the world. Prakriti and Purusha both adds together to form Ahankara, ego. Ahankara and ego undergoes three gunas, Sattvika, Rajasa and Tamasa. Sattvika deals with 5 organs of perception, Jnanendriyas, and 5 organs of action, Karmendriyas. 5 organs of perception, Jnanendriyas are our eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. 5 organs of action, Karmendriyas, have mouth with the action of speech, hand with the action of prehension, feet with the action of movement, genitals with the action of reproduction, and rectum with the action of excretion. Tamasa deals with 5 tanmantras. They are eyes having sight, ears having hearing, nose having smell, tongue having taste, skin having touch. Observe the doctrine of liberation of Sankhya philosophy. Generally, according to Sankhya, men are the victims of 3 kinds of pain. They are Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, Adidayavika. The first kind of pain is Adhyatmika, which is the pain caused because of intra-organ causes like bodily disorder, headache, fear, anger and greed. The second pain is Adibhautika, which is the pain caused by extra-organic causes like snake bite, sting bite, etc. The third pain is Adidaivika, which is the pain caused due to supernatural aspects like ghosts and demons. It is possible to every self to liberate itself. This kind of liberation is known as Videha Mukti or Jivana Mukti. Videha Mukti, it is attained after the death of the body, that means liberated from the body. Jivana Mukti is the emancipation of the soul while living in this body. Further, we see the educational implications of Sankhya. Aims of Sankhya philosophy: to liberate the soul, to liberate the self, to train all the organs appropriately, to provide the true knowledge about the real self, to train the children with right proportion of gunas. Curriculum of Sankhya philosophy. It should include all the content regarding to the evolution of the world, the qualities of spirit and soul, the knowledge related to liberation. The methods of Sankhya philosophy. The skills required to acquire the self-knowledge through the 3 modes of pramanas of knowledge like perception, inference, shabda. Teacher. A teacher should play a crucial role in providing the guidance to acquire true knowledge and to discriminate between the real self and non-real self. Discipline. It suggests individual freedom through self-discipline. People should develop inner observation to liberate oneself. acquire the true knowledge to get Videha Mukti and Jivana Mukti.
Thank you, friends. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. I am signing off. Stay tuned to Innovate Teaching Channel.